we get to hear from Rosemary this morning. This is exciting for me because I've known Rosemary for at least a couple of years now. She is a defector. She has come from another BNI chapter and has joined the ranks of the special group of Chapter 1. And I'm proud of that for a variety of reasons, much of which you heard from her this morning in her business introduction, but it goes so far beyond her business and what she's good at. The relationships that she has in her life are very deep, they're very meaningful. You can see that her family is here to support her because she has been there to support them all her life. You should hear how she speaks of her children and her husband. It's amazing, the love you have for them, and we're lucky to have a bit of the extra love that you have in addition to that for us. So today we're going to get to pay attention to who Rosemary is as a person and as a professional, and hopefully her answers will provide us with more detail on her copy business and printing business, which has been around for a number of years. So with that, how did you get into the business?
So I've been in business for 50 years. I started when I graduated from college. When I went to college, I worked for a copy center during my senior year. And it was a simple copy center. They did black and white copies, black and white printing.
Kinko's?
It was, no. I usually said when I had my own business, if I had enough money to open up next to Kinko's, next to every single Kinko's in the city, they would have gone out of business sooner. Anyway, so I worked for a copy center while I was a senior. I got my degree. You have this degree in your hand and you think, oh God, I could do anything now. So I went on one job interview with Citibank and I discovered a few things. One, humility was not my biggest characteristic. I found the interview process very difficult, even though I was prepared for it. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was hoping that the person that was going to be the interviewer would help me. I was a college graduate. I was pretty smart. I was good in math. I was personable. The interview probably could not have gone worse. I didn't get the job. I worked for the copy center for one more year, and I came home one day and I said to my mom, you know, I think I could do this on my own. If I did, would you lend me the money? And she did. And so after that last year, after graduation, I opened up my first copy center in the Flatiron building, if you can imagine, one of the corners of the Flatiron building. I opened a 1,000 square foot beautiful copy center. And the rent in 1976 was $900. Right. I know. Can you imagine a distinguished building on the corner of 22nd and Broadway in one of the, probably the most famous building in all of Flatiron? I have one of the corners. I am above a subway station, and I have 100,000 people passing my store in the morning and 100,000 people passing it in the evening, and I have a glass-surrounded business. So that's where I started, 1976.
Wow. Well, so now you're there, but what's the why? Why printing?
Why? So when I worked for this guy for 2 years, he was making as a 22-year-old, what I thought was kind of a lot of money, although money wasn't always the issue. It wasn't a small issue, but it wasn't always the issue. And I knew that I could do this. And I was running his business. And at the time, I was making $96 a week. And I thought, I could do it. So money was an issue. But I think one of the bigger issues was I didn't have the DNA to work for someone. It was difficult, as my husband can tell you, taking orders from someone, telling me what to do. So I knew I wanted to be my own boss. And the strange thing is I knew I wanted to do that when I was 13 years old. You know, I have trouble taking orders from my mother, from my teachers, from anybody in authority. So I knew I wasn't the corporate environment employee. So I wanted to be my own boss. One of the things owning your business allows you to do is have free time. So while I opened the store and I think worked really hard and eventually hired a bunch of people, I had a lot of free time. I had some free time to do what I really wanted to do, and that was volunteer work. I wanted to work with kids, which I did. I ran a program for New York State called the, does anybody know who Hugh O'Brien is? Well, I know you know. So Hugh O'Brien, does anybody know who Wyatt Earp is?
Yes.
Okay. Hugh O'Brien played Wyatt Earp on television. He started a program on the advice of Albert Einstein. He started the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Program, and its goal was to introduce the American incentive system and the spirit of capitalism to high school sophomores around the country. So I chaired his program in New York State. So I got to meet a lot of high school sophomores that I thought I was going to have some effect on. The other thing I did was ran a program called 7 Outstanding New Yorkers. And one of them had to be a firefighter. So I met my best friend through that program, as well as police officers and teachers and civil workers. So it allowed me to do volunteer work, which I really, really wanted to do. And honestly, I was really proud of the fact that I was a boss in a copy center, in a printing industry, which was at the time predominantly male. So people would come into my store and they would say, they didn't think I knew what I was talking about. And they would say, "Oh, can I see the manager?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll be right back." Can I help you now? So they couldn't believe that a woman would own a copy center, know what she was talking about, and run business, and any business for that matter. So that's kind of why I did it.
That's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, we get show and tell. This is going to be fun. So show us now what it is that you do in your print center.
Okay, so I say every week I offer 6 basic products. So you all have these on your table. This is the simplest, cheapest, easiest, fast turnaround product I do. It's black and white or one color printing. If you call me in the morning and say, "Rosemary, I need a business card that's just one color, it's real simple, can you have it for me by the end of the week?" And I would say, "Oh, sure, just come in at 5 o'clock, we'll have it for you." Really simple, really easy. It is the oldest thing we do. The second thing we do is color digital printing. It put the offset printing business out of business. Or unless you're a huge printing company, you cannot find a small printer that does what we do. So Arthur has allowed me the liberty of using a book that he has published. I have reprinted it for a couple of reasons. I want to show you the quality. I mean, the quality of this book is excellent. The one thing that it did that we cannot do is the hardcover. But I'm going to pass these around because this book demonstrates a couple of things, a lot of things that we do.
I just don't want you to go off camera. I want
Dr.
Amanda to help you pass them around.
It shows you the quality. If you just leaf through the pages, you probably can't tell the difference between his printing and my printing. It demonstrates 3 different kinds of binding. Perfect binding.
More perfect binding?
More perfect, yeah, no. This is called a saddle stitch with a square back. Okay, so this is perfect binding. This is saddle stitching with a square back. And this is just spiral binding. This is the least expensive. No, actually, that's the least expensive, but this lays flat. It's the only difference. And they're all of his book. I don't want to take credit for it. So color printing, binding, quality, turnover time. The other thing we do is graphic design. We do some graphic design. We don't do a lot of it. But we do graphic. My daughter is getting married. Yes. So my daughter has designed her shower invitation and a little giveaway that we are going to have at her bridal shower. So we designed it, we printed it, we made it a little softer by giving it round corners. So we do graphic design.
Just do one more.
Okay, one more. We do offset printing. The other thing that we do, which I tell people that I need that chair, that we do large format printing, and most people don't think, I don't think they know what that is. So I'm just going to demonstrate it. And this is the large prints that we could do. I need that chair. My daughter's friend was a teacher, and she teaches kindergarten. And she asked me to print a copy of a basketball player because she wanted to show her students how big a person can get.
Oh, you are going to stand on a chair.
So we printed for her so that her kids could stand next to Shaq.
Oh, wow.
So these little kids came up to his waist, and it was such a great presentation for her. We ended up doing, and we posted it in our store. We ended up doing it for a number of teachers who teach in the neighborhood, and they thought it was just a great, fun thing to do with their kids. Oh, thank you.
All right, one last question to round off this wonderful presentation / interview. Aside from printing and aside from your volunteer work, you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And your family time and your party throwing, what do you like to do if you have any free time in your free time?
Yikes.
Oh, don't pretend like you didn't prepare for that.
Well, you know what? I say to people, this is going to sound a little mundane maybe, and isn't that? But the truth of the matter is, God. Huh.
Take your time.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'd rather not spend any time with anyone but my husband. Yeah. No. Yeah, he has given me 2 beautiful kids, and that was not easy. They have been great kids. My kids often ask me, Mama, what was, well, they don't ask me anymore because they know the answer, but what was the best day in your life? And I will easily tell them, it was the day that I married your father. And that hasn't changed. If I did nothing else for the rest of my life, I would be totally happy spending every second with him.
Oh, that's great. So we will conclude this interview by me now mentioning to all of you who are out there wanting to now coordinate and schedule a one-to-one with Rosemary, that she's doing it at the expense of not spending more time with Stuart. And with that, we love you, Rosemary. You're fantastic. Great job.
Thank you.